arguably despise it, want to have nothing to do with. It has to be something that you care about that you didn't even know you traded. So for me at that point in this story was this guy Spawn, his love of his life dies, and in the blink of an eye he trades his life. Now here's why I think it's true. I don't care who you are. I have to assume what I hope so. I just want to have the confidence in humanity that no matter what walk of life and what age and who you are and what your political, religious backgrounds, where you live in the world, if the person that you care about the most, the single person you care about the most, and I'm not saying that you can't have lots, I'm saying the one at the top, that you care about the most, the last thing you said to them as you were walking out the door, you went, screw you. You got into a fight. And the last thing you said to them was, screw you. Slam the door, you go to work. And on the way to work, you get hit by a bus and you die. Right? Who wants to go to the afterlife knowing that the person that you care about the most, the last thing you said to them was something negative? That's torture. That is torture. So somebody comes along and says, we can set this right. I'll let you go back and say I love you. Goodbye. I have to assume that all of us will take that chance. I don't want to end it this way. I'll take that. And in that blink of an eye, all of that happens to me in a blink of an eye to my character, because nobody is going to sit there and have this long, elaborate. It just happens. You can say goodbye properly. Boosh. You can say I love you. Boosh. I'll take it. And he took it. And then the problems came with it in the Spawn comic book, right? So if you guys have been reading the Spawn comic book, in 1992 when it comes out, that scene at the beginning is Al Simmons' wife is Wanda. Her name is Wanda. Now, in my life, coincidentally, there's a young, cute little girl, and her name was Wanda, and she was a 13-year-old darling of mine. We had just started dating, and she didn't even know I even collected comics. I remember the one day she was at the house. We were going to go out for a date. And you ever heard the term closet collector? That's a real term. Because I had my comic books in the closet, right? They were literally in the closet. And so we were going to go out on a date one time, and I opened up the doors, and I forgot that I had my collection was there. And my new date was here, and she saw it, and she was, what the hell is that? Right? And in a minute, you've got like a nanosecond to get out of that one, because if you go, I collect comic books, it could be over before it started. The relationship could be over. And so thank God I had siblings. And so in that moment, she went, shh, what are those? And I'm like, those are my brothers. He collects them. Can you imagine? So you get past it, right? Now, luckily, over time, that young girl found out that I was lying to her and that they actually were mine, and I used to keep track of them, and I used to put numbers on it, and I had all these charts, and I was just like a geek, right? And she still sort of stuck around. She was 13, I was 16 at that point, and we ended up dating for 7 years, and then eventually I said, hey, why don't we get married? And we did. And so it's now been 41 years, and if I could, my darling wife, Wanda, the real Wanda, stand up, Wanda. Look at Wanda, she's still here, right? And if you don't think, any of you guys got Spawn #1, some of you signed it, look on the front inside cover and check who the editor of that book was. Miss Wanda, right? So she's cool. Now, but I had to fire her by issue 5. She will say, and no, this is my panel, you can give your version later. She will say she quit at issue 5. I fired her before she could quit. So, issue 5, if you guys don't know, and I'll jump, issue 5 was the one that was Billy Kincaid issue, where it was the pedophile, and they used the ice cream guy who would lure the kids in and whatever, and he was doing this one scene that I call my finger painting scene. If you guys remember it, he lured, I didn't show it, he just had this jar full of kids' fingers, Let's assume how he got there. And he was gluing them on a piece of paper. He was doing his finger painting. Now, my dear wife, who was way more compassionate than I am, just goes, I'm not putting my name on this book with that ridiculous, like, I'm not, there's no way I'm going to go. And she goes, you're going to have to change it. I'm like, what? What? No, I'm not changing it. She goes, well, then I'm going to take my name off, or I quit. And I was like, well, you can't quit. I fired you. So she was done. And if you look, her name is only on the first 4 issues, never to have returned, although she came back years later to help me with the business. So, anyway, so I have the character spawned